it's evolved.
Yeah.
And so I'll kind of walk you through maybe the journey and then
Yeah.
where it
Even
is
better.
now. If you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So being under Exos first was a good place to start in terms of an integrated model of performance, right? Understanding return to play from the training room table to the performance room floor. That was great. But as far as and it's a super sound methodology, total body, 4-day split, push pull emphasis, upper lower emphasis, woven all the way through. You get your but you can lose some of the big rocks within that methodology very easily when you apply it just to the college sector. It doesn't, to me, fit as well on your freshmen, on your even some of your sophomores. You developing that base like your big rock barbell exercises, right?
Okay.
So coming out of Exos, going to train men's and women's tennis at Carson Newman, I'm taking Exos type of model, and that worked okay there, right? I mean, every time you look back on a training program, you can easily identify some things that you would do differently. Then getting to New Mexico State, Coach Decker came up under John Stuckey, so I mean, it's the squat, press, and clean methodology straight up, and you're on a barbell every time you're in the weight room, and so feeling that almost the complete pendulum swing there, and really understanding how to coach people on the platform around the barbell, really develop the strength and power qualities that we want to develop. And then full transition over to the NFL side of things, where these guys have a high training age, an incredibly high output ability, and we have a very limited amount of time to train them all and train them all the same way. They're coming from various lifting backgrounds, even just in terms of an off season. So you have to be a little bit more selective with your exercise selection, with what methods you're choosing to use, given the stressors on the field. So then it's kind of arrived at this blend where we've got to push power. We've got to choose our moments for max strength to drive power in this sport, especially the closer you get to the football in the trenches. So we're going to choose those things and we're going to move load, but we also have to be choosy and find strategies, special exercises that can allow us to load the athlete in the most orthopedically sound and safe way. So to me, you boil it all down to a nutshell. I'm about doing simple things savagely well, and we've got to be able to quantify everything we're doing, and we got to make sure that we're in the right play call for the athlete. So we're going to fit the athlete, or we're going to fit the movement to the athlete, not the athlete to the movement. That, like, in a nutshell, that's what it's about for me at this point.
Okay.
Sure. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Did that come from any base philosophy? Like, you looked at, for example, and I'll use me for example. Whenever I'm writing something, the first thing I look at, I think of like a West Side Conjugate sample, and I take it from there, and then I extrapolate it. And by the time it's done, it's probably not anything like that. What a West Side? But what's like the first one? You're like tier system, and then you start working from there, or is it that Exos and you start working it from there?
Yeah, I would say that the way that we program here aligns closer to Exos, just with closer big rock exercises. And I mean, an Exos system gives a lot of room, like you said, it gives a lot of room for flexibility to run. If it's my primary lower push day, I can use dynamic effort method as far as how I'm loading and doing those things. But it's definitely not a tier system. Not that there's anything wrong with tier system, but we just don't alternate that way. It's more of a 4-day upper lower split with emphasis, or 4-day total body split with an upper lower emphasis.